interesting how we get so uncomfortable around love. It's like, it starts to feel really risky. And yet this love is the safest bet ever. This love that I'm inviting you to connect with here, this is a safe bet. This is not love that's going to be like, no, not today. Not really in the humor to love you today. It does not work like that. This is a continuous flow of love. And we either plug in or we step out of that. It's always switched on. So I began to learn this as I was healing my stuff. And I began to notice things like, exactly as you named, yeah. I'd start to feel my insecurities around my teacher, around the master. I'd start to feel, what can he see about me? Or does he know something about me that even I don't know? That was the most terrifying thing. Whatever I knew myself, I was okay with. But imagine if he could see something in me that even I wasn't aware of yet. Yeah, that was a horror of a fear. And really all that was just exposing what was taking up space in me. Where really I just wanted to feel love. I just wanted to feel loved. And there was two sides to this. First of all, I didn't know how I was loved. But to do that, I had to learn that I was lovable. And I wasn't so sure about that. So whenever people loved me, I thought, well, that's nice for you. I had no room to allow that I was lovable in that. But I appreciated it. I mean, it was nice, yeah. I love you too. I had to know that I was lovable, really. So, in other words, I had to know my own capacity for loving me. Then I had a way of feeling whether you really loved me or not. Or whether your I love you was actually a request for something or it was a manipulation. I had to know my own ability to love first. Or my own worthiness of love. And that started at a really small level. A very, very small level. In fact, if I'm honest, actually, it was minuscule. The true feeling of me being lovable when I started this was tiny. I mean, I could act it. I had knowledge of this stuff. I had knowledge of self-love and things like that. But the actual feeling of it, that took me quite a while to even accept that I was lovable. And I remember it was my supervisor first said it. She said, "You're really lovable." And I was like, "What? What did you just say?" She called it out, something that I couldn't even put words on. She showed to me that you're lovable. And then I had to question it. I had to question my disbelief at this. My disbelief at being lovable. And it exposed a big, gaping hole in my self-esteem and my relationship with myself. So it's no wonder I couldn't do anything right. The energy that I was doing everything was operating out of fear. It was operating out of insecurities and inadequacies. I thought it was love sometimes, but it really wasn't. How many of us can recognize this? When we don't know how to fully operate from love, we will definitely operate out of fear. Because when we operate within fear, our brain tells us I'm doing something safe. I'm protecting myself when I'm operating out of fear in that way. But it makes the world feel like a very dangerous place. It makes people feel like a very dangerous place. Relationships feel like a minefield of danger. When we find how we operate from love, that really changes. Because whether somebody is safe or not to love doesn't actually matter. The space of love is there anyway. And whether somebody else is able to meet me in that or receive that or give back to me, it's immaterial. Because what I live with and what I go to sleep with is the love that's in me. Yes, the love from all of you is gorgeous too. But I first of all sleep with this love. This is what I live with. This is my conscience. This is where I check everything. My sounding board is this. If I'm not sure of if I'm thinking in a particular way, or trying to make some kind of decision or assessment or something, this is my sounding board. It's love. Am I doing the right thing out of love? So when we mantra, our mantra energy is pure love. We can speak it in that way. It's pure light, pure love. So if we can open ourselves up to experience mantra, we're allowing ourselves to feel love in that purest way. And then we get to feel what that love does. That love will begin to show us where our hurts are, or where our insecurities are, so that we can heal them, so that we can bring more love to that, so that it heals. The fearful part of us doesn't always like that. It's like, oh, what did you go looking at that for? That was fine hidden away where it was. So when we mantra, it gives us that experience of love, but not human love. It's a very pure and very divine love that we experience through mantra, through prayer. You can call it prayer if you want. When we have more and more of that experience, it's like if you start to eat in really good restaurants. Michelin star. If you ever have Michelin star food, and then you go down to your chipper, they're worlds apart from each other, yeah? This is the same kind of thing. When you start to give yourself good food, good love food, it shows up straight away if an inferior type of love or affection crosses our path. It's like, no, I know my stuff. I know what truest love feels like. I know what the lightest kind of love feels like, the most unconditional love feels like. We start to grow our standard of the kind of love that we'll tolerate, or the kind of affection or relationships that we will tolerate. Make sense? Yeah. The magical thing is this can happen without us fully realizing what's happening. Because love heals in that way. Love heals in a very gentle way.